Hi guys. Every year millions of small businesses or medium-sized businesses starts and they fail miserably. According to some estimate, around 80% of them fails within first 5 or 10 years. And this is a real struggle because these small businesses are not started by someone super rich. They are started by people who are barely making money, and that business is only means for them to make money. And so failing at that would be disastrous for them. And that's why I want to discuss this book called Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. In this book, the author talks about how to succeed your small business. If you have a small business or medium sized business, what strategies or what we need to know to be able to make it success and not to struggle and just to barely survive. Well, he outlines the framework, or what he called as a structure that we have to follow to be able to fix our problems and let our business succeed. So there are few principles that author talks about. For example, we need our customers uh, to we as a brand. Let's start from beginning. We are brand and our customer is our hero. We are guide, our customer is a hero. We are not hero. Many people, when they start the business, they think that we are the greatest business. They represent themselves as we have the best quality, we are so and so and so. Say so they talks about themselves most of the time in front of their customer just to impress them that we are the best, and you should you know work with us, or you should buy our product because we are the great. That's one of the biggest mistake that we as a brand owner or a business person we can make, because once we do that, we are not prioritizing our customer. We are prioritizing our own image. We are prioritizing our own self, and doing so will come at the cost that your customer will not listen to you, because they want their own problem to be solved. They want themselves to put forward, not your brand. So author speaks, in the initial chapter, that you need to put yourself, your brand, as a guide, as someone who is a helper, who is a co-worker, or who can help a hero, which is a customer. Your customer is a hero, you are a guide. Your brand is a guide, your customer is a hero, you are a helper. You are going to help this customer, this hero, to win through something, to win through some problem or some struggle or some challenges this customer, this hero is struggling with. And this is this is based on the movies that we see, the stories that we listen. This structure is very much followed in movies, since we have the movies, the one in India. You might have seen Shivaji the Boss, the classic example. It's an Indian movie if you haven't seen, where this hero, I don't know what is his. Yes, Shivaji, the Rajnikant. Yes, he was the hero, and the guide was the guy who was along with Shivaji. He always persuaded him or convinced him to that he can win. I don't think so. Without him, Shivaji would have been able to get the success that he eventually got, fighting those evils and villains. So based on that structure that is very much followed in movies, we have to follow in our own business. We are the guide. We as a brand owners are guide, and our customer is a hero. They are struggling with some problem and we need to help them to solve those problem. Well, how do we do that? Again, there is a very structured and organized way to do it, step by step framework to follow. So you are a character, sorry, a character is a problem. Oh man, I'm still very much confused. A character is a hero. A character is a hero and he has a problem. Your customer is a character, he has a problem, and then he meets a guide. This is the third step. He meets a guide, and you are the guide. You are the one, uh, and guide has few qualities. For example, a guide is empathetic and authoritative, and has authority. By empathy, a guide is uses empathetic words. For example, I know we can get through this. You know what? You've been struggling with this problem, and this is really painful. And if we could solve this problem, your life would be much better. You need to empathize with them. You need to let them know that you care about them, and you have to use those empathetic words that that will let them know that you truly care about them. You can search on Google those empathetic words, and then you also show some authority that you have previously solved problems like this for people like them. How do you show this authority in real life? There are a few ways to show this. For example, you could show it using testimonials, or you could show it using awards that you have won doing solving that specific problem for people, or you could simply show your past track record. Oh, I've worked with this guy, I've worked with people like this. Our product or our service is 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 these people trust our service or our product, or things like that. You want to build authority, not in a way that you need to dominate or capture them, but rather to let them know that you are capable, and you know what you're speaking about, and you are the person who can do this, who can actually do this, not just speaking. And then you gives them the plan. You are the guide. You give them the plan, that this is the plan. Here the author talks about two plan. The first one is the process plan, where it talks about these are the 3-step process that you need to take to be able to use our product or our service. For example, if you're selling a software, then your process plan might look like: buy your software from our website. Second, write your first whatever that service that software is providing, write your first let's say note on our software like this. The third is integrated with your business, something like this. This process plan is important because it removes the confusion from the consumer's mind, that this is exactly how we need to approach this. And there is another type of plan. This is agreement plan, and this plan is important because it helps us avoid fear. It could be something like 100% guaranteed that this will be result, 100% return or something. You don't want to give them the guarantee that if something goes wrong, I'm here, I'll take back everything, I'll return 100% of your money. 100% money back guarantee is a good example of agreement plan. You want to remove that fear of them, that losing the money by trusting you. And then you call them to action. By default, if you stop them here, they wouldn't take the action. So you need to push them or nudge them to take action. How do you do that? So there are two ways. First one is transitional call to action, and the second one is direct call to action. uh, Example of direct call to action would be you put a buy new button on your website, or you put a set an appointment, something like this, on your website. The transitional call to action is when the customer, when a character or the hero is not ready to buy immediately. They might be interested, but they are not almost ready to buy it now. So you want to let them you want to let them know that whenever they need your service, they can come back to you, because you're the best person who can solve this problem the best way. And so you need to let them go through a transition where you need to provide them the value. Something like you can provide a free PDF, or newsletter, or some value in advance. This will help them know that this is the person who is proactive, and this is the company who is proactive, and they have the expertise, because they have already know about you. So whenever they need it, they're more likely to get back to you or reach you out, rather than going to somebody else. So this was a transitional call to action, and this is critical when it comes to business success, because according to statistic, around 37% of people are not are your transitional call to action customers. That means they need to go through transition to be able to buy your product. Only 3% of the customers are ready to buy immediately. That helps them avoid failure. You let them know that if they what is the cost of not working with you, what is the cost of them not using your product or your service. You need to let them know that if you don't use our product, or if you don't work with us, then these are the cost of not doing so. So this fear aversion is super important, a super useful tool in marketing or in sales conversion. Although I don't like these kind of thing, because it is not my nature, but these things work, so I'm mentioning these things are mentioned in this book. That's why I'm mentioning all of these things. And that ends in success. Finally, you need to paint a picture of success in their mind, that they were here and they reached here after they started working with you. So the clarity of you need paint the picture in their mind that they succeeded because they worked with us, and if they continue to do so, they'll succeed even more. And finally, this transformation process is like, people want your brand to participate in the transformation. Yes. Oh, not just you need to paint the picture of success, but they transformed. They were struggling with something, and then now they're thriving in their business because of you. So this transformation is caused by you. They need to know about this. You need ways to convey this. And again, this was a small summary for the book Building a Story Brand. I know I have not summarized it correctly because I wasn't very much prepared, but I just opened the book. I felt like I need to talk about this. Still, someday when I'll improve my speaking skills, I can always go back and summarize this for you guys. But just of it, and there's the implementation part of Story Brand. It is building a better website. So if you haven't read the book, really please read the book. It is one of the best book you can read if you're starting some sort of business, or if you're already doing it. The implementation part is also super important. The author talks about how to build the correct website or good website based on this framework. Also, how to transform your company culture. These are interesting things, really. I didn't know about these things before I read this book. So super, uh, re- 100% recommended. Try it out. And there are a few critical principles that I've learned in this book. The first one is people draw away from confusion. They want simple things, clear and simple things. If you confuse them, you lose them. Keep in mind, if you confuse them, you lose them. You want to make them know that it is simple, it is very simple. When they get on your website, they should not burn lots of mental calories just to understand what is your offer. Maybe you could do a grunt test. A grunt test is something like, imagine if the gorilla or a monkey or chimpanzee would be sitting in front of computer and he loads your website. Would they be able to understand what is your offer? Remember, people don't read your website, they scan them. They don't read those text that you put so much thought about, that you thought so much about and you put it there. They don't read those text, they'll simply scan it quickly, because there is lots of thing in this world that they could do, but they're and they don't have time for your website, to visit your website and read everything. They simply scan. Even the best website, I mean, the best example would be you yourself. Do you read the website? How much website have you ever read the website carefully? Every text, every line, everything? Probably never. So that is similar for rest of us. People don't like to read it. So your offer should be explicitly made easy, extremely easy and non-confusing, with 100% clarity that this is my offer and this is almost immediately understandable, even if somebody is absolute fool once they get on a website. So this was the thing that I have this personal example. So I was at electric shop and I had to buy this there's a tool called extension board, and I wasn't sure if that would be useful. So I wasn't sure if that would be, I had to use it for my cooler, the cooler I had in my house, and also for my computer. So I wasn't sure if the extension tool that the shop owner provided was, good enough to hold, was good enough to, man. I think I'll need to end this, but you got the point. Thanks a lot for today. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.